Thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Werner Rosenberger. I'm instead of our CEO, Elmar Dr. Just a PhD, Elmar Fürst. I'm the project manager from the Web Accessibility Certificate, and I will show you in the next minutes what is this is a product. It's not a research, it's a product, and I think it's very interesting for whole Europe. That this certificate to enter in the I think we go to Europe now with this certification, and it's a project of more companies, and I will show then more of it. WACA is the first quality seal to make web accessibility visible to the outside world. This is, I think, very important, and we according to the international V3C guidelines, the WACA criteria, there are international criteria in the whole world. This official certificate is intended for websites, apps, and other software solutions in German and in English languages in Europe. And it is issued based on the European standard. In this standard, the EN 301-50549 is included the WACA criteria. The certificate recognizes web accessibility efforts and guarantees compliance with legal requirements. The Austrian Association of Blind and Visually Impaired, you see it, the logo, the company logo in the middle, is the initiator of this certification and the procession body. TÜV Austria, the next label on the right side, is a leading expert for information security, as well as testing and certification services for many years, and is the certification body of WACA. TÜV Austria and TÜV Trust IT is the international player and member of many standardization companies and committees in Europe. Persons with disabilities are among those groups who can benefit most from the information and communication technology, the ICT revolution. We started our project in 2019. Until 2019, there was no quality seal in Austria and in many countries in Europe to indicate accessibility according to the WACA criteria. Public awareness of digital accessibility was always very low. Web accessibility is very technical, and I will show you only in few words what is web accessibility. The next picture, I think I don't haven't to describe you. It shows a smartphone with different apps on it. And the next image shows the same thing, but only from the sign of from a blind person. From the blind person's point of view. And the great thing is that blind people can use smartphones just as well as sighted people if apps, websites, and software solutions are designed to be accessible. So all apps and websites has to be interoperable. So smart screen readers and such assistive technologies can use these websites. Yes, my name is Werner Rosenberger, and I'm the project manager of this certificate. Is it located in the Austrian Association in support of blind and visually impaired for people with visually impaired. I'm a man in the middle age, and I'm using a wheelchair. Yes, today I have blue trousers and a white T-shirt with dark blue pullover. Yes, I'm also a member of in Austrian different groups of web accessibility groups and also a certificate professional in accessibility in core competences. This is a certification, a personal certification from the IAAP, sorry, I switched to German, is the International Association of Accessibility Professionals. Yes, why we have to use accessibility, sorry. I think it makes the life easier for us all, including people without disabilities. It is only important to always consider the issue of accessibility and preferably from the beginning, also with digital accessibility. Yes, I will show you only a few dates from the target groups. I think you know it. In Europe, there are 87 million people with temporary or permanent disabilities, and 30 million people are blind and have a particularly partially sighted persons in the whole, I think, in the whole social group, Europe. That dates from the European Blind Union, but also. The baby boomer generation has already grown up with computers and technical things, and or use them in the professional sector in her jobs. But they are now reaching a certain age which affects vision, hearing, or mobility. It will become a very large target group in the next few years for digital applications in the future. The future is also voice output and input devices, and this is necessary for web accessibility. In the German language, there's also a big target group. This is the functional illiteracy. 1 million people, I don't know, thank you. 1 million people in Austria, and I think 10 million people in Germany have problems to understand complicated languages, complicated sentences. Also, maybe the mother tongue is not German, and so they have troubles to understand difficult sentences, difficult sites. But also, I think in future, I say to you, the voice output and input devices will become more, maybe Alexa and so, and this is also possible that you need web accessibility. Only a short facts, the laws in Austria, because, or in Europe, for public institutions, you have the Web Accessibility Directive. It's since 2018. For companies, online shops, and passenger transport services, there is a new EU directive in the European Union. This is the European Accessibility Act, and it will come into force in June 2025. Yes, I think the other things it's not so important, but I think you know it here. It's the I'm in the right conference here. Only some words about the European Accessibility Act. It is in the future for all digital products and services in the European Union. You have this standard I say before. The EN 301-549. This is the accessibility requirements for ICT products and services. And in this standard, there is reference the WACA criteria. In the future, all companies, maybe from 10 employees or 2 million annual sales, has to look for this new law as a legal means to be able to offer on the European market. And so also important for importers and distributors who want products and services in Europe. Yes, what is very new is there are penalties. So fines can amount up to 5 figures. So you have to pay when you are not accessible, or your services are not accessible. I will show you only some one study. It's a means of the accessibility of online shops in the Switzerland, and there are only none of them are not compliant with the WACA criteria. Only 10 of them are good or very good to use for people with disabilities, and 14 of these 41 online shops has been classified as not accessible. I think it's a very hard study. It shows that there's a lot of work to do in online shops. Yes, I won't show you now our certificate. The WACA was was intended, I don't need it, yes, by 10 Austrian companies, 10 Austrian organizations. There are university aid organizations, digital agencies, management consultants, and so on. And this is powered by the Austrian Association in support of the blind and visually impaired. And the certification body, I said, is the TÜV Austria. Yes, some goals. Just we want to show this certification throughout Europe, and we can certificate English and German English and German language websites. We have an interdisciplinary advisory board as a subversive authority behind. There are all 10 organizations in this advisory board. And yes, the certification bodies, TÜV Austria, is very good known in Germany and in Austria. Yeah, why WACA? Yes, the WACA certificate is intended to ensure digital or ICT accessibility. It shows it to the outside world, further raise awareness on the accessibility importance and on the law of the WAD, the Web Accessibility Directive, and the European Accessibility Act of the European Union. Make a product out of the concept of accessibility, which is often difficult to grasp and convey. Creates the possibility of generating demand of accessibility and the corresponding development of skills. And I think the last thing, expand further at European level, which with the support of the strategic partners and certification body TÜV. Currently, all activities are being translated into English with other languages to follow in the next few years. Yes, I say something about the advisory board. There are also a university in this board. This is a university in Linz in Austria. And this is the Johannes Kepler University, you see it here. And also management consultants. These are very interesting and very, I think, important that we get knowledge to give this certification in the outside world to help us for management, this certification. Yes, the certification is have three levels: gold, silver, and bronze. We give a leveling on the evaluated websites. Then it's a dynamic JavaScript snippet. We publicate it on a certificate website and on our website. And it is entry in a database. So you can also look for the report, or can write and report when the website is not accessible for you or for your devices, because websites are very always they're not fixed. They have new versions, new thing, and so sometimes it could be that things are not evaluated, and so you can write here and report. The certification is for 3 years, is then 3 years valid, and it costs is dependent on the complex or the size of the website. Here on the right side, you see it on a website of the international website of Zero Project. Is from the ESL Foundation in Austria. Is here. We gave it here on the website. We check it. We need, I think, 3 to 6 months to check websites, to make reports, and the company or the website owner could also make the website better in this time, and then we gave the certificate on the website. Yeah, some advantages of the certificate. Why we certificate websites is why is it important? Because there is a transparency and comparability, and I think the economic effects are also usable for CSR, SDGs, ESGs, and for media. Yes, and maybe now there is a unique selling proposition because not so many companies have this certification now. Here you see some certified websites. To date, 100 different websites of the public and private sector have been certified by WACA. Through WACA certification level, we want to sensitize companies and public institutions as well as stakeholders to the topic of accessibility web. I think it's a very important thing to do it, and that the topic reaches come to the management level. Nobody should be excluded from the information and the web, also visually impaired and blind people. So the other reason for this label should be that that user recognize that website can be also made accessible with knowledge. Not many people have this knowledge. Also a website owner and developer. And so the WACA label is intended to present the measures of accessibility to the outside world. Yeah, so in the next few months, we go to Europe. Some countries in Europe we want to expand. I think it's only few serious competitors in Europe. Only some national providers. I don't know if there is one in Poland. There is one in Germany. There's one in Switzerland, but there is no certification for whole Europe. One certification body is interesting for big companies when they go to the European market. So one certification body for all members, I think it's a very interesting and a USP for our product. The quality seal and of conformity valid aim to the whole Europe, also throughout Europe. It is valid in whole Europe. TÜV Austria can certificate it for the whole European Union. Yes, it's an Austrian brand, you said before, since 2019. And it's maybe a legal compliance certificate guarantees that legal regulations are observed. A certificate website reduces also user complaints. So you have, I think it's an economic effect too, that websites are now have a new quality, and you see it with this label on the website. Yes, thank you very much to present here our certificate on our product. There are any questions?
I guess not. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and have a nice afternoon. Thank you.